Term 5, Lesson 16, Revision of Unit 4, Part 2. We'll continue with decimals. It might actually be Term 6 by the time you do this lesson. Right, your remember task is to do these multiplications. Look for the patterns, see if you can follow the pattern. Press pause on the video and press play when you're ready to go through the answers. Okay, 11a. Our first question here is 2 times 30, which is 60. Okay, we can do 30, add 30, it makes 60. 2 times 30 is 60. You know what 2 times 3 is, but let's just look what's happened to the pattern. Let's see what's happening with the pattern. 3 is 10 times smaller than 30. 30 has been divided by 10. So the 3 has moved over into the ones column. So if we look at our answer, that is just 6. So our answer has also been divided by 10. Okay. One part of the question is 10 times smaller, so we make our answer 10 times smaller. So 2 times 3 is 6. Now if we follow this pattern, the 3 has got 10 times smaller. It's been divided by 10. So it's moved over into the decimals, which means our 6 needs to move over into the decimals as well. Divide by 10. So the 6 was here, we've divided by 10. So 2 times 0.3 is 0.6. Now here, we've got 0.3 or 0.03. So the 3 has been divided by 10. It's moved over to the right one place. So we need to divide our answer by 10. So the 6 is going to come over here and we fill up with a 0 to make 0.06. 5 times 80 is 400. You're told that, but you can work it out. 5 times 8 is 40. 80 is 10 times bigger than 8, so we make our answer 10 times bigger than 40. So 5 times 80 is 400. Now let's follow the pattern. 5 times 8. So 8 has been made 10 times smaller here. So we make our answer 10 times smaller. The 4 will come into the tens column. That 0 will come into the ones column. And that 0 will drop off the end. So we're looking for 40. 5 times 8 is 40. 0.8. That's this 8 divided by 10. It's moved over to the right one place. We need a decimal and fill up with a 0. So we need to divide our answer by 10. So our 4 will move into the ones column and our 0 will drop off the end. Okay, so for the last one, 0.08. So that means this 0.8 has been divided by 10. The 8 has moved over into the hundredths. That 0 has moved over into the tenths. And we filled up with another 0. So that means this answer needs to be divided by 10. Make it 10 times smaller. So it's going to move over into the tenths. And we're going to put a 0 in the ones column. So 5 times 0.08 is 0.4. Same sort of thing, but you haven't got a pattern to follow here. We look at 4 times 2 is 8, but that is 10 times smaller than 2, so we need to make 8 10 times smaller. So it would be 0.08. 9 times 4 is 36. We need to make it 10 times smaller because this is 10 times smaller than 4. So 36 divided by 10, remember you're going to move things over to the right, so it will become 3.6. 2 times 3 is 6, but this 2, it was here, so it's actually gone down 10 times, 100 times. We've divided by 100, so our 6 will need to be divided by 100 to give 0.06. I think our 6 was there, we're dividing by 10 and by 10 again. Last one, 0.08 times 4, well, 8 times 4 is 32, but we need to make it 100 times smaller. So 32 divided by 100 will give us 0.32. Think about our 32 being here. If we're dividing by 100, the 3 is going to go over 1, 2, and the 2 is going to go over 1, 2. Because there's nothing to the left of the decimal, we need to fill it up with a 0. Work out these multiplications. Use an estimate to check your answer. Okay, I've just quickly I've included a hint over here. That 4.6, if we ignore the decimal for the moment and make it 46, we've got 46 multiplied by 8. So 4 times 8 is 32, but it's 10 times bigger, so it's 320. 6 times 8 is 48. So we've got 320, add 48, equals 368. So 46 times 8 is 368, but it's not 46, it's 4.6. So we've got to divide our answer by 10. So the 3 is going to go here, the 6 is going to go here, and the 8 is going to go into the decimals. So our answer is 36.8. Okay, so here I've just written it down in a column, so you might want to copy this kind of column for the other 3 questions. 4.6 times 8, so I'm looking at it being 40 times 8 and 6 times 8. So I do both my multiplications, exactly what we've done over here. Then if I add 40 times 8 and 6 times 8, I get 46 times 8, and I add my answers together to get that. But because 46 becomes 4.6, our answer becomes 36.8. It's moved over. But if we just look at our original, 4.6 times 8, well, that's roughly 5 times 8. So 5 times 8 is 40. I'm in the same ballpark. I've got 36.8. If I'd had left it at 368 and forgot about moving over for the decimals, and I did my approximate to make 40, but I had 368, I would know that I've done something wrong. So you kind of think about it and think, oh yeah, I haven't divided by 10. Okay, so let's have a little look at B. So 3.2 times 6. If I split this up and make it 30 and 2 times 6, forget the decimal, so make it 32 times 6. So I've got 30 times 6, add 2 times 6. 3 times 6 is 18, add the 0 because that's 10 times bigger. 2 times 6 is 12. So if I add 30 and 2 together, I get my 32 from the original. Add these together, I get 192. But because it's not 32, it's 3.2. So I've divided by 10. They've moved over 1 space. So I need to move my answer over 1 space. So the 1 goes from the hundreds to the tens. The 9 goes from the tens to the ones. And the 2 goes from the ones to the tenths. So it's 19.2. Look back at your original. It's roughly 3 times 6, which is 18. I've got 19.2, so it's roughly the same. Press pause on the video when you want to copy these down. If you want to wait until we've done all 4, that's fine. Or if you want to take a break and write them down now, that's also fine. So if we look at C, it's round the other way. We've got the single digit first, followed by the decimal. I'm still going to make this into a number without the decimal for the moment. I'm going to look at it being as 225, which means I've got to do 7 times 200, 7 times 20, and 7 times 5. Here they are written down here. So ignore the decimal. Think about it as being 225. So there's the 200, there's the 20, there's the 5, all multiplied by 7. So 2 times 7 is 14, but I've got 2 zeros here to make it 100 times bigger, so I need that in my answer. 2 times 7 again is 14, but 10 times bigger. 10 times bigger. 7 times 5 is 35. So to get 7 times 225, I need to add them up. 0, 0, 5. 0, 4 and 3 is 7. 5 and 1. Now, 2.25 has been divided by 100. The 2 has gone over 1, 2 places. That 2 has gone over 1, 2 places. The 5 has gone over 1, 2 places. So we've divided by 100 to get back to our original answer. So our answer here, we also need to divide by 100. 1, 2 places. 1, 2 places. 1, 2 places. 1, 2 places. So our answer is 15.75. So if we look at this, we could say 2.25 is roughly 2. So approximately 2. 7 times 2 is 14. We've got 15.75, so it's in the same ballpark. If you've gone wrong with your dividing and made this 1.575, when you look at your approximate answer, you think, no, I've done it too far. I've divided by 10 too many times. Okay, so D, we've got 4 times 3.24. Again, I'm going to ignore the decimal, and I'm going to do 4 times 300, 4 times 20, and 4 times 4. Okay, so I've got them all here. 4 times 300. 4 3s are 12. 100 times bigger. 100 times bigger. 4 times 2 is 8. 10 times bigger. 10 times bigger. 4 times 4 is 16. So to get 4 times 324, I'm adding all 3 together. So I've got 6, 9, 2, and 1. Now I want 3.24. I'm going to think about my answer now. So this 3 has moved over 1, 2 places. I've divided by 100. 1, 2 places. 1, 2 places. So my answer here also needs to divide by 100. Move over, sorry, come back, 2 places. One, 2, there's the 1. 1, 2 for the 2. 1, 2 for the 9, 1, 2 for the 6. So it's 12.96. Remember to just check your answer. It's roughly 4 times 3, which is 12. We're in the same ballpark. We can safely say we're okay on that one. Okay, work out these divisions. Part A and B have been started for you. Okay, so it's in green. Let's have a little try of these on your own, because we have done these before in the previous lessons and it is a revision unit. So have a go on your own, press pause on the video, and then we'll go through the answers. Okay, this little bus stoppy type thing has been drawn out for us. We've got the number 62.8 is inside and 2 is on the outside. We're dividing how many times this will go into this number. So 2 into 6 goes 3 times. There's nothing left over, so I'm just looking at 2. 2 into 2 will go 1 time. Nothing left over, so 2 into 8 is 4. So your answer is 31.4. So if we look at B, 3 into 3 goes once. 3 into 7 goes 2 times, because 2 3s are 6. That means there's 1 left over, so we put it next to the digit on the right. So 3 into 12 is 4 times, so your answer is 12.4. So I've got 31.2 divided by 6. 6 into 3, it doesn't go, so I put the 3. Good point. Line up the decimal first. Remember, adding, subtracting, and dividing, always line up the decimal first. 6 into 3 doesn't go, so I put it next to the digit on the right. So this becomes 31. 6 into 31 goes 5 times. 5 times 6 is 30, so that means there's 1 left over, which I put next to the 2. That becomes 12. 6 into 12 is 2. Your answer is 5.2. 30.1 divided by 7. Line up your decimal first. 7 into 3 doesn't go, so I put the 3 next to the digit on the right. 7 into 30 is 4. 4 sevens are 28. 29, 30. That means there's 2 left over. So 2 goes to next to this 1. 7 into 21 goes 3 times. There's nothing left over. So your answer is 4.3. Okay? Press pause if you need to make some corrections and press play when you're ready to carry on. Okay, that's coming off of decimals now, and we're just going to recap perimeters and areas quickly. So calculate the perimeter of each regular polygon. Now remember, there's a hint over here. In a regular polygon, all the sides are the same length. Sketch the polygon with all sides labelled. So that first one, 1A, has got a 5 centimetre side, so that's 5 centimetres, 5 centimetres, 5 centimetres, 5 centimetres. Remember, regular means every side is the same length. Okay, press pause on the video, have a go at these 4 shapes, finding the perimeter. Remember, that's the path around the outside. And press play when you're ready to carry on with the answers. Okay, so the first one, we have a square. So we've got 5 centimetres as the length. We've got 4 sides, so 5 times 4 sides is 20 centimetres. So B, we've got 7 centimetre length. Count how many sides we've got. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we've got 7 times 5 sides is 35. C, we've got 9 centimetres times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 sides. So 9 centimetres times 8 sides, 9 times 8 is 72 centimetres. The last one, we've got 11 centimetres, and we've got 3 sides, so 11 times 3 is 33. These shapes are drawn on centimetre squared paper. Match each shape to its area, okay? If you want to draw the shapes and then just write the area by them, or if you want to just write half a centimetre square and put all the letters that represent half a centimetre, that's fine. But just press pause while you're having a go at this question, and press play when you're ready to check the answers. Okay, so first of all, what I'm going to do is I will say that I've drawn these shapes out, and I'm going to look at A and think that's 1 centimetre square. It's a whole square. Now B is half a square, so it's going to be half a centimetre. Now if I look at C, I've got half a square here, and I've got a whole square here. So that's 1.5 squares. So I've got half. This one, I've got a half square here, and I've got a half square here. So 2 halves is 1 whole. If I cut it here and flip that one round, it would go in there. So that's a whole square. F again is 1.5. G is a half. H is 1.5. And I is a half. Okay, so however you write it down, it doesn't matter. I've written half centimetre is B, D, G, and I. Okay. Yeah, just check those again. And 1 centimetre is just A and E. And 1.5 is C, F, and H. Here are 2 rectangles drawn on centimetre squared grids. For each rectangle, copy and complete. The length of the rectangle is, the width of the rectangle is, the perimeter of the rectangle, which is all sides added together, and the area of the rectangle is length times width, and fill those in. So let's just quickly do this one together. The length here is 1, 2, 3. Did I put it up there? No, I'll put it down there. The width is 1, 2. So the perimeter is our part 3 to answer. We've got 3, add 2, and then we've got 3, add 2 again. So I like to do it as 3, add 2 times 2. So 3 add 2 is 5, times 2 is 10. The area is our length times our width. So 3 times 2 is 6 centimetres squared. And you could actually count to see there are 6 squares there. So press pause on the video and just do B in the same way that I've done A. Press play when you're ready to check your answer. Okay, so if we look at our length, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Our length is 6. Where's he gone? There he's back again. Our width is 4. So our perimeter is 6 add 4 times 2. 6 add 4 is 10, times 2 is 20. So our area is 6 times 4. 6 times 4 is 24. Because it's an area, it's centimetres squared. Okay, make sure you put the little squared up here when you're doing area. So press pause on the video, have a go at these ones on your own. Remember, you need to divide the shape into 2 rectangles or 3 or more. It doesn't matter how many you make them into, but you need to then add them all together. Okay. In fact, I'll just go over question A with you just to remind you. So first of all, I need to find out some missing lengths here. Nothing's written on A, but I do know that 1 square is 1 centimetre. It's told me that. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 along the top. I've got 2 down here. 1, 2, 3 here. 2 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 along the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4 up that side. So if I need to find the perimeter, I need to add all these sides together. So I've got 5, add 2, add 3, add 2, add 8, add 4 equals 24. How many numbers have I added? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 numbers. I'm just going to check I've got 6 sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides, 6 numbers. I should be okay with that. Now I need to think, where can I divide this rectangle? I could divide it along here to make a rectangle here and here, or I could divide it here to make a rectangle here and here. So I've decided just to go down here. So my area 1, I can just say is this one, and area 2 here. So if I need to find area 1, I'm not using the 8 because the 8 goes from here all the way along to here. I'm just going to make sure my length of this rectangle is 5 times 4, which is 20 centimetres squared. Now this one, I know I'm 3 centimetres long by 2 centimetres down, so 3 times 2 is 6. So to find the whole green shape, I add those 2 together, which makes 26 centimetres squared. Okay, now press pause and have a go at the other 4 questions on your own. Okay, so if I look at B, I'm going to add my distances around the edge first. So I've got 2 along there. I've got 2 down there. I've got 3 along here. 2, 1, let's just check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 along there. And 1, 2, 3, 4 up there. Okay, so I find my perimeter by adding all these lengths together. So 2, add 2, add 3, add 2, add 5, add 4, makes 18. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides, and I've added 6 numbers. Okay. If you wanted to just count them as you go around, that's fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay, that's fine when you've got all the little crosses, squares marked out for you. When you come down to these two, you haven't. I've decided to split it there. Sorry, I must have pressed the little button before I was ready to. You could have split it here. Doesn't matter, you'll still get the same answer. So I've gone there. So I've got area 1 and I've got an area 2. So my area 1, I know I've got 4 centimetres and 2 centimetres. So 4 times 2 is 8 centimetres square. If I come along here, I've got 3, 2, 5 is the whole distance. I don't want 5, I've only got 3 as this rectangle. So it's going to be 3 times 2, which is 6. So add them together, 14 centimetres squared. Okay, let's try C. So 2 centimetres, 3 centimetres, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 1. Okay, so perimeter, I'm going to add all these together. How many sides have I got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides. Just check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 distances. Yep. Oop. Come back. Here's 14 centimetres. Okay, so decide where you're going to divide your shape up to make 2 rectangles. You could go here or you could go here. I think I went there. Yes, I did. Okay, so area 1, area 2. Well, this is easy one. This is 1 times 1, which is 1. This one is 3 times 3, which is 9. Add them together. We've got 10 centimetres squared. So D, this one was actually printed wrong in the book. You can see a little mark around here. I've had to make that 3. Now, because this is marked out here, and we're told we've got rectangles here, because right angles, so this is 2 here. We know that bit's 2 there. We know we've got 3, 3, 3, so we've got a square here, so we know that the whole distance needs to be 3, but we know that little distance is 1, so 1 add 2 is 3. So 2, add that 1, it makes 3. Okay, so we've found our distances now. We've got all sides marked, so we can find our perimeter. How many sides have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, they're all right. 3, whoop, come back. 3 add 3. I've combined that 3 and 2 to make 5 for that whole side. Yep, okay, and we make 16 centimetres for the whole perimeter. It already decided where to split this one here, but you could have gone along there if you'd preferred. Okay, so my area 1, let's just show area 2 as well. Area 1 is going to be 2 times 1, which is 2 centimetres square. Area 2 is going to be 3 times 3, which is 9 centimetres square. Add them together, we've got 11 centimetres squared. Okay, we'll do the last one. We've got 12, we've got 5, we don't know. We've got 3, we've got 9. So it's just this one we need to find. Now we know the distance from here to here is 12. And we know the distance from here to here is 9, but we need to go a little bit further to make that 12. So 9 add something makes 12. To find that something, you could do 12 subtract 9. So 12 subtract 9 is 3. So this is 3 as well. 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, now we've got all our distances, so we can do our perimeter. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides. If I put all those 6 numbers down, let me check. Always check that you've got the same number of numbers that you're adding up, that you've got sides. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides. Yep. And we add it up, and I've made 40. So area, again, you could divide it along here, or you could divide it up here. I've gone for this one. So area 1 and area 2, let's mark them out. Let's not fall into this trap of doing 12 times 8. That's not this little rectangle here. This one is 9 times 8. 9 along there times 8. So 9 times 8 is 72. For this little one here, remember we found that distance is 3, so it's going to be 5 times 3. Add the two together, we get 87 centimetres squared. Okay. Okay, so a little bit of problem solving for you to try out. Press pause on the video and then press play when you're ready to go through the answers. Okay, question 5. A square has an area of 4 centimetres squared. Sketch the square on centimetre squared paper, find what the length of one side is, and then find what the perimeter is. So let's see what we've got. We've been given our area. Area equals 4 centimetres squared. So the reverse of squaring some numbers is to find the square root. So the square root of 4 is 2. When you're looking for a square root, it's what number times itself will give this answer. So you need to know your tables. I know that 2 times 2 will equal 4. Okay, so the square root of 4 is 2. So I now know my square, because all the sides are the same length, is 2 centimetres by 2 centimetres. So there it is. Mark on my area, and I'm going to mark on my sides. So to find the perimeter, we can do 2, add 2, add 2, add 2. That's one way of doing it. When I know I've got rectangles and squares, what I like to do is I like to just do 2, add 2, and then times it by 2. So 2 add 2 is 4, times 2 is 8. Or you could just do, for the regular shapes, I've got a 2 centimetre side and I've got 4 sides, so just go straight into 2 times 4, which is 8. Okay? A little bit of a slightly tricky one. Press pause on the video. Have a go at this one yourself. It looks to me like you're going to make this into 3 rectangles. Okay? Find the perimeter and find the area. Press pause and press play when you're ready for the answers. Okay, so we need to find the perimeter, but hold on. We've got some missing lengths here. We've got 4, add 5, add something, add 3, add 4, add 14, add 7. Right, so we need to find these two somethings here. Okay, so find this one first. We know this whole distance is 14. I know 4 centimetres of it, and I know 3 centimetres of it. Oh, what's this doing? So 4 add 3 is 7. 4 add 3 is 7. So if I do 14, take away 7, I know that I'm going to have 7 left for here. Oh, here we go. Didn't realise I'd written it down. Okay, so 7 add 7 is 14. So I know that that distance is 7. So 4, add 7, add 3, totals 14, the whole length. Okay, now we need to find this distance here. Now, we know, sorry about the phone call, we know this distance is 7, and we know this part is 5. So if I do 7 take away 5 is 2, so I know this little bit down here is going to be 2. So if that bit's 2, I know that that bit's 2 also. Have I written these on? Yes, I have. Okay, so now I know this whole distance is 4, but I know that part is 2. I know it doesn't look the same length, but these drawings aren't to scale, so I know that's got to be 2. So 2 add 2 does make 4. So that one was a little bit complicated to find. Okay, there will always be a way to find your missing distances, but you sometimes got to work a little bit hard to find it. This one, you had to find this mystery length, to find this mystery length, to then find that one. So that one was a little bit complicated. But now you can find the perimeter. 4, add 5, add 7, add 2, add 3, add 4, add 14, add 7. Okay, so I put my little dot to show me where I'd started. 4, add 5, add 7, add 2, add 3, add 4, 14, and 7. Okay, I've got them all down there. And do your adding up. Doesn't matter which way you can do it. If you want to just add 2 numbers together and make it smaller and smaller each time, that's down to you. That's adding up. Okay, but now we have to find the area. Now, because I've already found these lines here so that I could find distances, lengths, I've kind of got my 3 rectangles already. So I'm going to leave it there. So I'll make that my area 1, area 2, and area 3. Okay, if you'd really wanted to, you could have drawn a line here and here. So you could have had a long, skinny rectangle there, and one there and one there. You would get the same answer. So this one, I know I've got length 4 and 7. So 7 times 4, I'll do it up here. 7 times 4 is 28. My area 2, I've got 7 times 2. 7 times 2 for that rectangle is 14. And for this one, I've got 4 times 3. 4 times 3 is 12. So to get the whole yellow shape, I need to add those 3 answers together. So 8 add 2 is 10, that's 14. Carry 1, 3, 4, 5. So it's going to be 54. Oh, I'm doing it in bits. There's my 14 and then 5. 54 centimetres squared. Okay, so problem solving. The Great Pyramid of Giza has a square base. The perimeter of the base is 921.6 meters. What is the area of the base? Give your answer to the nearest square meter. Okay, I've done a multiplication grid here. So that's a clue that you're going to have to do some multiplying because you're going to find an area. But first, you need to find what you are multiplying by what. You've been given the perimeter, and you know it's a square. How could you find the length of one side? Press pause on the video, and then press play, and we'll go through the answer. Okay, so we know the perimeter is this, we know it's a square, we know a square has 4 sides, so we need to do 921.6 divided by 4. Okay, so 4 into 9, that goes 2 times. Oh, let's line up our decimal first. Very important. 9 into 4 is 2 times. 2 4s are 8, so there's 1 left over. Put it next to the digit on the right. 4 into 12 is 3 times. There's nothing left over. 4 3s are 12. So I'm now 4 into 1. 4 into 1 doesn't go. So I need to attach this one next door. 4 into 16 is 4 times. So I know each side of my square is 230.4 meters. So to find the area, I need to do 230.4 times 230.4. Okay, 230.4. Okay, so if you remember this type of grid, we now multiply 4 times 2 is 8. 0 times 2, anything times 0 would be 0. 3 times 2 is 6. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 3 is 12. 0 again times 3 is going to be 0. 3 times 3 is 9. 2 times 3 is 6. We've got the 0 here, so all along here we're going to have zeros because anything times 0 is 0. So 0 times 0 is 0, 3 times 0 is 0, 2 times 0 is 0. 4 times 4 is 16, 0 times 4 is 0, 3 times 4 is 12, and 2 times 4 is 8. Okay, now I add my slanty bits up. There's only a 6 there, there's only a 1 there, 2 add 2 is 4, 8, 9, 10, 18, so we carry the 1 into the next diagonal. 9 add 1 is 10, carry the 1. 6 add 6 is 12, and 1 is 13. 4 and 1 is 5, and then there's nothing there because that's just 0. Now to find where our decimal goes, we have to come down where the decimal point is and go along where the decimal is. So this is where they meet, and just follow down the diagonal, and that's where you put your decimal. So we've got 53,084.16. Okay. Give your answer to the nearest square meter. Okay. So this is just 0.16. So our answer should be 53,084 square meters. Forgetting about the decimal. If this had been 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 or 9, we would have taken that up to 5. Remember, 5 or more, add 1 next door. But it's not, it's less than 5, so we leave the 4 alone. Okay? That's a big multiplication grid, so if you need some more time just to copy that down correctly, just press pause and press play when you're ready for the next slide. Okay, a 2-kilometre long stretch of road needs to be resurfaced. The width of the road is 8.3 metres. Model this sketch of road as a rectangle. Work out the area of the road that needs to be resurfaced in meters squared. And then part 2, resurfacing this road costs £30 per square metre. What is the total cost to resurface the road? I'd like you to have a go at this on your own before I go through the answer. So press play, try and think about it. And I'll just say, make sure you've got the same units of measure. Have a go. Press play when you're ready to go through the answers. Okay, so we know the length of the road is 2 kilometres. It tells us in the question. Okay, a 2-kilometre length of road. We know the width of the road is 8.3 metres. So now we look here and think, we've got different units. Let's convert this to metres. Remember, there's 1,000 metres in a kilometre, so I've got 2 kilometres, that's 2,000 metres. Now I'm going to work with that number and that number because they're both the same units of measure. Here's my sketch of the road. So I now know it's 8 metres wide and it's 2,000 metres long. Right, to find, what are we going to do? Work out the area of the road that needs to be resurfaced. So to work out the area, we need to multiply. So 2,000 times 8. Okay. So I'm doing it on a grid. You don't necessarily have to do it on the grid. I am doing it on the grid here. Okay. Oh, 8.3 metres. I've put 8 there. It should be 8.3. So this little box here is all going to be zeros because anything times 0 is going to be 0. So I'm just going to fill those in quickly. 2 times 8 is 16. Again, we're going to have zeros along here because anything times 0 is 0. 2 times 3 is 6. Okay, so add my diagonals, 0, 0, 0, 6, 6, 1. And my decimal, I would come down here because I haven't got a decimal, but that's where it would be if there was one. So I'm going to come down, that's where it meets, so go down my diagonal. I'm just going to go in there. So I've got 16,600. Okay, that's my area, meters squared. So part A we've done. Part B, resurfacing costs £30 per square metre. So I've got to multiply this by 30. If you've got a calculator, that's fine. You could multiply that by 3 and then make your answer 10 times bigger. But I've actually done the grid for the whole number here. Okay, so I've got 16,600 times 30. Again, this is 0, 0 because anything times 0, 0. 6 times 3 is 18. 6 times 3 is 18. 1 times 3 is 3. 0 times 0. 0 times 0. 6 times 0. 6 times 0. 1 times 0. Okay, so 0, 0, 0, 8, 9, 4, and there's nothing there at 0. If I had a decimal, it would be here and here, so my decimal would go here. So in fact, my money is going to be £498,000. Where's it going? There it is. £498,000 to resurface 2 kilometres of road. It's not as complicated as it first looks. Okay, thank you for watching and listening to the 2 revision slides. All that remains now is for you to complete the end of Unit 4 test. I would say remember to read each question at least 2 or 3 times to make sure you know what you're answering. And I wish you good luck for that. Okay, see you in the next unit.